Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome into the RockstarFlipper YouTube channel, Thursday live show. And I had somebody who couldn't wait to be on YouTube. He's like, Dad, let me on YouTube. Let me on, Dad. Look, buddy. Say hi to everyone. Okay, so Roscoe's here with me. He's hanging out. Chewy's down on the ground. But wanted to say good evening to everybody. Thanks for joining the live show. Quite a few of you already in the chat, so thank you so much for taking time on your Thursday to be here. There's already 50 of you guys in the chat. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And we're going to talk about 2019. We're going to talk about some of the other resellers that are already in the chat. What is up? Wade's Ventures. Big old Wade in the house doing big things. You guys don't know who Wade is. Man, get out from under the rock. Wade is in the house holding it down. Katie and Vicky. Katie Zilberberg and Vicky in the house as well. So thanks, everybody, for joining me. I always appreciate each and every one of you who takes time out of your Thursday night to be here. Let's do a little bit of talk about some sales tax and general tax updates that I have for you guys. A lot of questions this week about the shipping updates as far as the pricing goes for the 27th on first class, zone pricing, and then also some updates as far as like, just sales in general and buying and selling and different things to look for, opportunities, changes in business, all kinds of stuff that will hopefully let you guys go full-time in 2019 if you're not full-time. And if you're already full-time, hopefully help you grow. And, Grant Cardone does that awesome 10X thing. I just hope I can help you guys double your business because I think most people in the chat, if they could double or triple what they're doing, they'd be super happy. You want to get down, buddy? You want to be on YouTube? Say hi. Say hi. You wanted to get up here so bad. Okay, so let's just jump right into the show since I said hello to a few people. A lot of you guys are also in the chat there. Caddo Creek, Trey, what's up? Terry's in here, and Paul, everyone. So first topic, tax, sales tax. So there's been a lot of updates. I want to say a big thank you to my buddy Paul DeLeo, who's a CPA here in Florida. Washington State, and now that I've got Paul in the chat, Washington State, a lot of you messaged me this week telling me that Washington started automatically collecting your sales tax and remitting it to the state for you when you sell an item on eBay or Amazon. So what does that mean? If you sell an item to a customer who lives in the state of Washington, now there are other states, and Paul's going to help me out with what the other states are that have already started. If you sell an item to a customer in Washington, there's no threshold. As soon as you sell an item, they're going to collect the sales tax. I don't know what Washington's sales tax rate is. Somebody might be able to help me. Is it 7%, 7.5%? They're going to collect that amount, and they're going to send it to Washington for you. You don't have to do anything. In fact, the message that eBay sent out to everybody stated there's no further action required on your behalf. This is also in some other states. Somebody, Paul, want to help me with the chat with what is happening. Roscoe for President 2020. Roscoe lived half his life last year on treats that Candace helped us get. So Candace, this is your little buddy. He loves you more than anyone. So Roscoe for President 2020. He's probably better than any other option. No politics, but listen, I hate politics. Start to finish. I hate them all. So Roscoe for president. So Washington, thanks, Terry. Washington, granted state transparency, one of my favorite viewers. Thanks for being here, guys. Paul, if you're in the house, can you tell me what other states? Washington sales tax is 10%. Holy jeez. Good grief. What Iowa and Alabama. So Paul just put it in there. Iowa, Alabama, and Washington. Paul, was there not a threshold set for Alabama that they wouldn't start collecting until you hit 100,000? So I'm going to get into that explanation for you guys in just a second, but that is Stephanie Purdue, an amazing question. If you sell an item for $10 and the sales tax is 10%, the customer is actually going to pay 11, but you are never going to see the 11. The dollar is eBay collecting the sales tax and sending it for you. You will still get your $10. Your sale price is your sale price, obviously minus your fees and all that stuff and your shipping label. The 10 is the 10 is the 10. It's yours. If it's 20, if it's 100, if it's 1,000, eBay's collecting it on your end. Will you get an annual report showing this? A perfect buy. This is a great question for Paul. I don't think that you would get a report. And here's why. Because eBay is the one collecting it, receiving it, and remitting it. You're not a part of that transaction. I could be wrong. But I don't believe they're going to give you a report. Those of you that do your own federal taxes or are a part of it a lot. Sales tax is deductible on federal taxes to a point, depending. But I don't think that it's going to be the case for this. Your own state sales tax. If you live in the state of Washington, then you actually are benefiting because, as far as I understand, you don't have to file your own sales tax anymore for eBay. eBay's taking care of it. You still have to file sales tax. Don't let me make that mistake to tell you guys you don't have to file sales tax. You do, even if it's zero. But eBay's taking care of it for you. So I don't know that you'll get a report on that. But Paul's right. You are going to you're going to not have to worry about this. Hopefully for every state. Hopefully it all happens. Real Talk Mentor, treats for the dogs. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Paul, no annual report. The states are making sales tax the marketplace problem. That's what I figured. So Paul's on top of this. He's messaged me quite a few times over the last few days. The states are all going to take care of it. So as of right now, though, many states have not taken over that burden yet. It doesn't mean they're not going to. It just means they haven't done it yet. So here in Florida, for example, October, November, December, fourth quarter, I just paid my sales tax. Paul, don't forget your sales tax. Don't get a late fee. It's $50. I had to suck one up last year because I forgot about it like the last day. Florida is, for our county, Florida is a 6% sales tax, but each county is different. We had 1%, so our total was 7. Our county just upped it to 8.5. Lame. But so January, February, March, I'm collecting and paying sales tax as usual, status quo until Florida takes over. If at any point eBay takes it over and says we're going to send it to Florida for you, done. So Iowa, Washington, what was the other state, Paul? Alabama. Those 3. Are we to get sales tax license in the states we have sales? No, you will not need sales tax license in any state except your own. You still need to get your own sales tax license for your state, because if you happen to sell anything outside of eBay or Amazon, say you sell it on Facebook locally or Craigslist, let's say you start selling 10, 15 items or what have you, you create a website where you sell stuff, whatever it is, you're still going to need to, at that point, collect the sales tax on your own. So yes, you still need to get a sales tax certificate for your own state, because there could be a chance that you do sales outside of eBay. And if you end up not doing any sales outside of your state and the marketplace takes it and takes care of it for you on the marketplace, then you still need to file your sales tax as 0. If I open a business in Florida and I decide I'm going to sell a bunch of stuff, and then the day after I open it, I say, oh, never mind, forget about it, and I don't sell anything all year, I have to report my sales tax as 0. I can't just not file it. I have to file it. Most states, I would venture to say all of them, require you to file the tax paper with 0. You don't owe them anything. You don't send them anything, but you just tell them it was 0 and they know. And then if you decide to close the business down, usually they'll have a close of business paper. So that's what you have to remember. Tax is a sign of goodness. Yeah, it's a sign of success. Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. So if you sell stuff to another reseller, remember to get a copy of their resale certificate, their sales tax certificate, and then you don't have to pay tax on that. It's up to the sales tax is always passed all the way down to the end user, aka the person at the end of the line who's going to physically wear the shirt, use the phone, take pictures with the camera, whatever the item is. It's them that's responsible to pay the sales tax to the person selling it to them, and thus the state to get their sales tax. If it's a reseller selling to another reseller, let's say that you buy some clothes to sell as a mystery box and you box them up. Speaking of, stick with me, guys. I had another nice, wonderful viewer of mine send me a mystery box. No idea what's in it. It's completely sealed. I'll do that a video this weekend. Thank you, Kevin. In the meantime, Kevin Higginbaum. So if you sell a mystery box that you bought for $10 worth of stuff to another reseller for $50, if you get a copy of their sales tax certificate, you do not have to pay sales tax on that merchandise. It's up to them because they're going to sell it to an end user and they'll have to deal with it. You have to get a copy of their sales tax certificate, though, because if you were to get audited and your state said, hey, you sold this for $50, where's our $5 in sales tax? You'd say, oh, it went to a reseller. Here's a copy of her certificate. And they'd say, oh, you're good with it. And they'll go after her. So always remember that. It's good to spread the love, yeah. So, Casey, you're 100% correct. Thank you so much. Paul, occasionally I get things right. I think I missed your question, a perfect buy. I'd have to scroll up to see the rest of it. Yeah, the cutoff is like 459, Paul. Do you pay into Social Security as a business owner? Yes. So anybody, this is a great question too. And again, I'm not a CPA. I'm not Paul. I'm not licensed, anything like that. Please take everything that I tell you as just what I do, my experience and my advice, not professional legal tax advice. Social Security, FICA, Medicare, when you are self-employed as a business owner and you file your federal taxes, there is a 15% self-employment tax. Now, it's not actually 15%. Paul, help me with this. It's like 14.85 or something. It's some number around 15%. That is what you pay, and it's 15% of your profits, not of your gross, 15 of your profit. So if you did 100,000 in sales, you profited 15, you will owe 15% of the 50. I mean, if you profited 50, you'll owe 15% of 50,000. So $15,000, or I'm sorry, $7,500. So yeah, $7,500 that you will owe worth of self-employment, FICA, Medicare, etc. That goes into funding your part of it. As an employer, as somebody that has employees, you as a business owner always pay that for your employees. You pay half of it because the employees get half of it taken out of their paycheck, and then you pay your half of it. But because you are the business owner and you're being paid, if you don't have employees, or even if you do, your income is 15%. I think it's actually like 14.85, but Paul might know that a little bit better. 15.3. It's actually a little higher than I thought, but it's right around 15% of your net. So, Jeff, if you're selling anything more than a couple of items or some personal items, you absolutely want to file for a sales tax certificate in your state. Some counties require you to have a license for a county license to do business. In our state of Florida, we have a county occupational license. So I pay like $35 a year to the county that I live in, which is Hillsborough County, Tampa, Florida. And they get like $35 a year. I have to pay them once a year, and that's my permission to do business in this county. I then get a sales tax certificate for my state, and I pay sales tax. And then I also have an EIN, which is my LLC, my federal tax ID number, EIN, whatever that stands for, identification number, electronic identification, I don't know. That is your number that you use to file your federal taxes to the IRS. If you're operating as a sole proprietor, you don't need that number. You just work under your Social Security, but you still might need your county and state. You absolutely need your state one. In some states, each county requires it, so you'll have to check on that for your state and county. But that's pretty much the extent. A lot of people ask me, like, what licenses do I need? What this? It's three things. You either need a federal tax ID number if you're a corporation or LLC. If you're not, you use your Social Security number. You operate as a sole proprietor. That's number one. That's free. You don't have to pay for that. You just go on irs.gov and get it. Number two is your state. Your state sales tax license is gotten through your Department of Revenue. They have offices in pretty much every county of your state or their internet website. That is free. And then your county, minus $35 a year-ish. And then that's it. And then I pay because I have an LLC. The state of Florida costs $144 a year to have an LLC. If you're a sole prop, I think it costs like $50 a year. And to give you a comparison, out in California, you guys might know my good friend Megan Reed. For her to have a sole prop is free, but if she had an LLC, it's like $860 a year. So good job, California. Anyways, that's what you need. So that will hopefully help you out there a lot. If you sell, so Laura just made a good point. If you resell items on eBay to other resellers, you're still responsible for the sales tax. I'm just saying if you directly sell to another reseller and you can get their sales tax certificate, you won't be responsible for it then. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm just reading through some of the comments here. It's the same total amount as the Social Security Medicare tax of 7.65 withheld from the employer's pay and matched by the employer on their payroll. Yeah, Paul just did it. So if you're ever owned a business, you have employees, they pay 7.65% out of their paycheck. That's what gets taken out of your paycheck when you're an employee. And then us as business owners pay the other 7.65% to cover you. As a business owner, our income is the full 15.3%. So, so that's that. Yeah, California's expensive for everything. Somebody said California's expensive for everything. It is. Paul I think is right. If you have a sales tax certificate and you sold items to a reseller on e-commerce marketplaces like eBay, you should be able to get a refund on some sales tax or be able to not have to pay it at some point. Thank goodness for CPAs. Yeah, CPAs are a necessary evil. Paul, I'm going to say this out loud. I hate CPAs. They make way too much money, but you have to have them. I paid a CPA for many years, and at some point I'm going to owe Paul a lunch for all the questions I ask him, or a nice dinner or something. So he's like got a running credit with me. So I'm going to have to pay it off one day. For the inevitable person that asks, what am I drinking? It's Captain and Coke with a lime. I just made this. I didn't even get to take a drink out of it, really. I noticed my last 2 sales to Washington State, the buyer had to pay sales tax. What is the deal? Gametainment? I just talked about that in the rest of the video. Rewind. But basically, eBay is now collecting sales tax for 3 states: Washington, Iowa, Alabama. Okay. So, yeah, 245 people watching. Thanks, guys, so much. The like button if I'm helping you out here. Hopefully this helps unconfuse everybody. If anything I ever talk about confuses you inside of this live chat or any of my videos, you have 2 options. You can email me at rockstarflipper@gmail.com. I answer all of my emails every single day. At most, it will take 48 hours. So if you don't get a response from me within 2 days, send it again. Almost every email gets answered in 24 hours, though. So you should have an answer by the same time you sent it the next day. So that's option number 1, is to send me an email. Option number 2, we're going to dig deeper into all of these topics in live Q&A sessions, private and group sessions inside of my Rockstar Flipper entrepreneur group. If you guys didn't see it, I've always had a VIP group. I got myself a teammate, Sydney L. You guys might know her. We created one big combined group. It's awesome. We got rid of the monthly fees. We made it just $49 one-time fee. That's annual. And you guys can be in the group, and we'll go over this more in depth. If you need to get your business in line, if you need to get it on the up and up, if you need to get set up, if you need some recommendations for taxes, for CPAs, for buying, for selling, for bolos, for store reviews, for your settings, for your shipping, for whatever you need help with, it's all inside of that group, and it's such an amazing value. For less than $5 a month, like $4 and change a month, you can be in the group all at one time and not miss out on anything, and everything we talk about here we'll talk about in there. So it's linked down below if you want to join in on it, and you can do that way as well. So let's move on to Candace. Shoot me an email so I can send you a little video on the bulk sale thing for you, because I understand it's giving you a little bit of an issue, so I'm gonna do that for you. Thanks for the subscription, Lunch Break Picker. So let's talk about the shipping thing. This has been the second topic that I've gotten the most questions about the rest of this week, which was the USPS prices increasing by X amount of money for first class, for some Priority Express. In general, on January 27th, the USPS has announced a increase in prices, and also fancy USPS has announced a change in the way that first class shipping goes for zones. So anybody who doesn't know first class, living under a rock, or not experienced, or a newbie, first class is the same price no matter where it goes across the country, anywhere from $2.66 on up to like $5 depending on the weight, 1 ounce to 15.9 ounces. So that is changing. It is now going to be based on zones. And thank you so much, Real Talk Mentor, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that. You have been such a good supporter. I appreciate you being here. And so I kind of wanted to get you guys, I put out a video with the chart for the rate increase, but also the zone map. I have to get everyone a zone map for the new zone. So it's like zone 1, zone 2. Obviously, the farther away that your first class item goes, the more that it's going to cost, and it's going to cause some people to get away from free shipping. It's going to cause some people to start charging more for their flat shipping rates. It's going to cause some people to go to straight calculated. So these are all kind of things that you should be thinking about. So let me screen share with you guys. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to screen share because I'm not running Google Hangouts. So give me just a second here. Okay, so there we go. Laura Cohn, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate that. I guess I should have set this up before I started, but okay. Anyways, I'm just gonna show you guys here. I'll just show you. This is the new zone pricing for priority mail. And then when we scroll down, there's some more priority mail, priority flat rate. I'm just going to try to get to the first class. So here's our first class 2019, this way, rate changes. So this is how much it's increasing by. Thank you for the subscription. A perfect buy. Also with the $5 super chat. Thank you all for these super chats. So here's the increase for zone 1 and 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, zone 6, zone 7, zone 8, and zone 9. Hold on, let me zoom out so it's more clear to you guys. Hopefully this makes it a little bit. I wish I could screen share. Hang on. Let me see if I can get this to work. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're zoomed up. Okay, so a 1 ounce package going to zone 1 or 2 is not changing. If it goes to zone 3, it's 2 cents. If it goes to zone 4, it's 4 cents. Zone 5, 10 cents. Zone 8 cents, 18 cents, 30, 43, 43. So this entire chart here, feel free to screenshot this. I'll link this down below. I need to get you guys a zone map. Some of these prices, look, a 14 ounce package going to zone 8 is $1.15 extra. Do you guys see that? $1.15 more. $1.43 for a 13 ounce package. Some of these prices are going up a lot. So I will get you guys, I'll link that below so you guys can check it out. Give me just a second here. Fix the camera. I'll link that down below. I should have had a screen share ready. I created this new program to go live, and I forgot to do the screen share on it. So I'll link. Let me grab this link really quick, and then I'm gonna find you guys a zone map. So here's the link directly to it right there. Kathy, that's okay. CPA is worth every penny. You guys are a blessing. Thank you for supporting. Real Talk Mentor, thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. Prime Time, Dominic in the house. What's up? If you guys missed the live show last night, make sure you go check out Dominic's live show. Okay, so I'm linking in the chat. That's the link to the page I just showed you on the USPS increased prices. You can scroll down that. It shows you first class. It shows you priority. It shows you priority express, example, all of those things. The max ounces for first class is 16 if you purchase it on eBay. It is 13 if you walk in. I don't even know if they ever fix that, but if you're buying off in e-commerce, it's 16 ounces. So a 12 ounce package costs more than a 13 ounce. Caddo Creek Traders, Trey, thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that, buddy. Trey, if you've never watched, followed, or tracked Caddo Creek Traders, he's our estate sale monster. I owe you a message, by the way, Trey. I owe you a message, and I know I forgot, and I dropped the ball, and I apologize for that. So send me a private message, Trey, so I can respond to it tonight. Yeah, so those prices start January 27th. I'm curious in the chat, what is everybody going to do to adjust their shipping? Is everybody going from free shipping to calculated? Is everybody going calculated period? Is everybody increasing their price by $1? I talked to Star and Keith, and it looks like they're going to increase their prices by $1 according to Keith. According to Star, they're going to increase their prices by about $25 shipping per package. I'm totally kidding. They're not doing that. But I'm just curious what everyone else is doing. Personally, the people are going to ask me, I am going to always charge for shoes and heavy items. I'm probably going to add $1 or $2 to all those shipping prices. And as far as my first class free items, I might go calculated. I'm considering it. I don't know yet. So always round up. Absolutely. I will promise you we will have a few sellers that realize they're losing money. Yeah. So basically, if you're doing free shipping and you realize that it's not covering your shipping and your price and you're not making enough money, you need to do calculated, or you need to up the cost of your items by $2, $3 to cover the extra money. Terry, $1 super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Terry Berry. And Colorado Tex with a $3.99 super chat. It's been a long time since I've been able to watch. Yeah, Tex, I haven't seen you around for a while. How you doing, man? How you feeling? Postcard guy says he's always done calculated and staying the course. I think that's a good, you can't ever go wrong with calculated. Paul is doing calculated for first class. That's probably what we're thinking about doing. We've been discussing it for the last couple weeks. So, do you have a regular merchant account or just pay Square, etc.? For me, I use PayPal for everything. I always have. A lot of people go and calculate it, it looks like. Annette says she's going to split the shipping costs, pay some and let them pay some. That's not too terrible of an idea either. That's not a bad option. Does the tax change affect states in which there isn't a sales tax? No. 3-beat collectibles, 5 states with no sales tax. Somebody help me here. Alaska, Rhode Island, Montana. I'm missing 2. Somebody help me here. Hold on, let me pull it up. Alaska, Delaware, Montana, New Hampshire, and Oregon. How did I forget Oregon? So Alaska, Oregon, Montana, Delaware, New Hampshire. So 2 on the West Coast, 1 in the middle, 2 on the East Coast. No sales tax. Nothing changes with them. Yeah, Will, you've got the shipping changes start 2 weeks from Sunday. So remember to buy all of your labels by next Sunday. Or I'm sorry, it's the 27th, right? Yeah, 2 weeks from Sunday. 2 weeks from Sunday. You got 2 weeks and 3 days till it changes. 2 weeks and 3 days. Yep. No, Nevada has sales tax. It's Oregon, Alaska, Montana, New Hampshire, and Delaware that have no sales tax. Also, Pennsylvania does not charge on clothing. So if you're a clothing seller in PA, you don't have it either. Speaking of, I want to tell you guys a funny story. If you ever has anybody ever been to an exotic car rally? And I don't mean like the old time cars that like the old guys rebuild and all. Those are cool. I mean one where there's like some legitimate cars. If you've never seen my videos on some car, like the Toys for Tots rally or like the one that Deb Motaz was at, I'm talking $1 million Lamborghinis, Bentleys, Ferraris, Huayras, Paganis. I'm talking the McLarens, the top end of the top end cars. If you ever go to one of those shows, if you ever go to a car show, Festival of Speed or Hot Import Nights or something like that with really expensive, and by expensive, I don't mean $100,000 i8s or $200,000. I'm talking a $1.1 million McLaren P1. I'm talking a $3 million Ferrari F1 Berlinetta F12, whatever. Candace Pitt, thank you for the $4.99 super chat for Roscoe for president and Chewy for vice president. The reason that I ask if you've ever been to any of those events, if you ever look at some of the more expensive cars, my car was $150,000. I got a discount on it because it had a couple miles on it. So if somebody goes and buys a car for $150,000 in the state of Florida in Hillsborough County, the sales tax on my car brand new is $12,750. Imagine, and my car's cheap compared to some of these. Imagine somebody buying that $500,000 Ferrari in this state. The sales tax on that car is $42,500 on a $500,000 Ferrari. Well, the reason I asked you guys this is because if you ever go to one of these exotic car shows, many expensive cars have a license plate from the state of Montana. And the reason they have a license plate from the state of Montana is because the people that buy these cars are very savvy. You can call it cheating all you want, but they're just savvy. What they'll do is if they have the anticipation of buying a very expensive car, they will go to Montana. They will spend $300 or $400 and they'll buy a plane ticket and they'll fly to Montana. They will open a business address for $50. They'll spend upwards of $500 to $1,000 to, fly there, open a business, get a P.O. box, make a business exist in the state of Montana for $500 to $1,000. They'll then buy their car and register it. They'll have it shipped to Montana for a couple $100, and they'll register it in the state of Montana with no sales tax. They will spend $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 to save $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in sales tax, and then they will drive that car down to Florida or have it trucked down to Florida and store it here with a Montana tag. And once a year, they'll go back to Montana and register the car and never have to pay sales tax. So pay attention the next time you go to a very expensive car show or watch my exotic car rally videos, and you'll notice many of the cars have Montana license plates. I suppose they could go to Oregon or Delaware or something else. I don't know why Montana is so popular. I would imagine Jackson Hole is a really popular place among rich people, but they do it. So if you've ever noticed that, it's pretty awesome. So loopholes, guys, loopholes. That is why Laura says her husband used to work for Ferrari. That's awesome. So a way to avoid sales tax. Call it what you want, but it's a loophole. That's what they do. So I paid like $10,000 in sales tax on my car. So I sucked it up. didn't want to go through the hassle of going to Montana, even though I maybe should have. But anyway, so that is the sales tax kind of update, shipping update for you guys. I'm going to open the floor up to questions. Anybody have questions and answers? As always, you guys, I appreciate every one of you for being here. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not. I know there's a few of you here that are not subscribed to the channel, and hopefully you are, because there's always important videos like this that come out, and hopefully I can help you. Even if just one video helps you, being subscribed to the channel is something that could be priceless. You could learn one brand. You could learn one tax law. You could learn how to register your car in Montana and save $30,000. However I can help you, I'm definitely here. And as always, my email is always open to all of you. Primetime Treasure, thank you, Dominic, $9.99 super chat. I appreciate all that you do. And like I said, my email's always open to everyone. RockstarFlipper@gmail.com. And if you use my description box, a lot of you don't even know what the description box is. It's just below me. There's all the links where you can visit me on social media. You can give me your email address to get updated for news and new videos. You can join the group. That's the first link. I highly recommend you joining the group. We have the best resellers. I have a teammate in Sydney. We have everybody and anybody you can think of that's a part of that group to help you out. Big, well-known, not known. Everybody and anybody is inside of there or have access to it. We get answers from everyone. You'll have accountability sheets. You get bolos. You can have me look at your store whenever you want me to. You can ask me questions, priority email, priority messages. Everything inside of that store or inside of that group is there. And $49 a year. I mean, how can you beat $4 a month? So we hope to see you guys there for sure. But I'm going to open it up to Q&A. Let's see what everyone has to say. Great show and into. Thank you. Perfect buy. I appreciate it. I really appreciate the support. Thanks for asking so many great questions as well. Inventory Lab or Acceler List? I don't know about Acceler List, Lewis, but Inventory Lab has always been pretty good. Government shutdown affecting online sales. Tori, great question. Let me answer that in just a second. Yeah, a friend's sister is a high-ranking exec at Apple who buys $150 to $250. Yeah, if you're talking about $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in sales tax twice a year, man, register that car in Montana. Spend the $1,000 to fly out there and do it. Kathy, thanks for subscribing. Krill Stroman, thank you so much. What are you doing in 2 weeks? I think I owe you lunch. Deb Smith. You don't owe me lunch, but we can owe each other lunch. And send me an email. Send me an email, rockstarflipper@gmail.com, and we'll set it up. We'll make it happen. Who won the giveaway with the other YouTubers? That was announced in the video. I'll have to pull it up. Sally Sells was the main winner. Kicking It won. Thanks for the subscription. Appreciate it. Sally Sells was one. Robin, who you guys might know from Katie and Vicky, she won third prize. I'm trying to remember who won second. I can't really remember. How are your sales today? We've only sold a few items today, 3 or 4 items, not much. 16 ounce still first class. Will the smaller companies follow suit with eBay on sales tax collection? By smaller companies, do you mean Etsy, Mercari, Poshmark? That's a great question. It's yet to be seen. eBay and Amazon are the high profile ones, so of course they're going to do it. Posh is getting big enough that I really think they should. If they're not, Manish, Amanda, if any of you are watching, please get the sales tax and tax in line and get it going. I think it'd be a great thing for Mercari to have set and ready. So we'll see. Hannah, 32 minutes late. That's okay. That's absolutely okay. Mike, I don't know how long Facebook Marketplace makes you wait. I've never had to wait because I've been on Facebook Marketplace for several years. Maybe somebody newer has an answer to that. I really wish I had every answer, but I don't have that one. Paul says she's rich and just pays the sales tax. Some people are rich enough they're just going to shell out the 40 grand and don't care. Etsy collects some sales tax. Katie and Vicky just tossed that out there, so looks like that one would be. What's the top 5 non-resale social apps on your phone? Random question. Great question. What are the top things on my phone that I use for apps that are non-reselling, non-social media? Well, I play some games. So one of my favorite games is called Hole.io. I know that sounds crazy. It's that. So you're this little pothole and you have to swallow the whole town. And the more stuff you swallow, the bigger you get and the bigger stuff you can swallow. So when you start off, you can only swallow little benches and people and you have to grow to swallow buildings. Really love that game. Everybody. Music, I use like Pandora a lot, or my iTunes Music. Neighbors app. If you guys have never used the Neighbors app, you can sign into your neighborhood, and everyone with a Ring camera can show some of the crazy stuff that they find or see on their cameras. They'll catch porch pirates. They'll catch solicitors. It catches, you know, people trying doors out in your driveway. All really great things for that. So that's another app that I use. I use VSCO, which is a photo editing app. I really love this photo editing app, VSCO. It's like $15 to own it, but it's an amazing app. I use ScreenLink, which lets me send my screen to my computer. I use it for work. I use it for gaming. I don't get to game a lot, but I use that. Groupon, I use Groupon all the time. My BMW apps, I have about 5 or 6 BMW apps, and actually one of them is the remote control to my car. So I can actually log in and start my car, lock my car, unlock my car, GPS my car. That's one that I use a lot. I also have like roadside assistance. I have PlugShare, which is like charging my car. I can find any kind of electric charger. That's an app I kind of use. So there's a lot of apps. I use quite a few apps. Liability for insurance for reselling. I do not. Only if I had a place. When I had an office, I had it. Dates yet for the meetup? No, I don't, Trey, but I will get to it immediately. So it's a game of Rome, New York potholes. That whole game sounds like my appetite, yeah. How do you send a PayPal invoice to your customers? Bill, I will message you after the show, and you just need their PayPal email, and you can send them an invoice. I'll show you how to do it. The Ring doorbell saw movement. Yeah, made it. Darren, thank you. GoDaddy bookkeeping versus QuickBooks. I think GoDaddy is geared towards beginners and easier to use. I think QuickBooks is more of an old school user. I use QuickBooks. I love it. For importing, GoDaddy is better, but I still find mistakes on people that do GoDaddy importing when I cross-reference it. So I don't ever trust importing. I do everything manually. Call me old school, I guess. So yeah, Wayne is right. Amazon does require liability if you're doing certain numbers. I don't know the cutoffs, honestly. I know that I don't do enough on Amazon. My biggest year on Amazon was like $150,000 or $200,000. I don't do nearly that much now because I don't spend the time on Amazon like I should be. I really should, but you know, QuickBooks fell behind a little bit. But if you use QuickBooks like I use it, it's awesome. So GoDaddy is better for the importing. There's no doubt about it. Why do I hate drop shipping? There's 3 reasons I hate drop shipping. 1, I don't get to inspect the quality of the merchandise and make sure it's good. 2, I can't control if they run out of merchandise and I have to cancel orders. And 3, I have to use stock photos and I'm not in control of my business model. So I just don't like drop shipping. I hate it. It's an ultimate business model. You don't pay for anything. You never handle it. You never ship it. But it's a lot of risk. You have to be very careful with that. So, Global Shipping Throwback is a great program. It does charge the buyer a lot of money, but it's the safest for the seller. I'm not concerned with the buyer as long as I'm being protected. Now, that doesn't mean to say that I don't want to give the buyer a good deal and offer them to them directly, but by offering it to them directly, I'm assuming all the risk that eBay otherwise takes for me. And so I would much rather just use the global shipping. Anything that makes my life easier, I'm all about. If a buyer doesn't buy something because eBay's charging them an extra $5 or $10 for the shipping, then so be it, I guess. Is Adyen going to import like eBay and PayPal do? Good question, and I would imagine they will. I don't know how long that's going to take. They're talking about importing your sales from eBay and PayPal into GoDaddy or QuickBooks. Is Adyen, the new payment processor, going to do it? All signs would point to yes. I don't know when they're going to do that, though. So, ScreenLink is a free program made by Elgato. Free or ScreenLink. So it's ScreenLink by Elgato. It is free, but you're limited to what you can do. You can also buy it for $10. It's free to use. Try it out, and then you can pay $10 for it. You have to download the Elgato HD Capture software for free, and then download the app, and then you can link your phone to your computer and see everything in front of you, and then you can record your screen and you get your recording and your audio and all that. I have another program called Reflector 3, which was like $15. I paid for it, which also does pretty much the same thing. ScreenLink is free, and it's awesome though. So K-Pop, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was a Rockstar sip. Yeah, prime time. Just make sure it's turned on in your eBay settings, GSP, absolutely. Great questions from everybody. Thanks for always sending in the questions. If you watch this show and it's not live, you can still leave questions in the comment, and a lot of my wonderful users will respond to you and answer your questions, and I also will respond to as many as possible. Yeah, Paul, the misrepresentation part is really big on dropshipping for me too. I think Katie's doing really good. If you guys want to keep up on Katie's progress from her injuries and from her whole thing, and Vicky and just everything they do in general, you can go check out their channel. They're in the chat now, Katie and Vicky. They were. Yep, Katie and sign, ampersand, whatever, Vicky, V-I-K-K-I. Make sure you guys get that right. And check out their YouTube. Dominic over on Primetime Treasure Hunter. I was on with him last night live, so make sure you go peep in on that live show from Dominic and me last night. It was good fun. It was awesome. We were on for an hour and 5 minutes. I'm not going to keep you guys that long tonight, but we had an awesome chat last night. We talked about using social media. We talked about staying focused. We talked about Rockstar at 5 years old, and some other good stuff too last night. So let me grab a link to that fancy video for all of you. Here's a link to Dominic's live show. And any of these people I talk about, you can just click their name and go check on their show and their YouTube and subscribe to them. Robin, the printer, another great thing to point out. I got the link today, and the price for the printer is right around $200. This is a thermal printer from ArcScan, and I have used these printers. Jerome was nice enough to send me their newest one. It's a model 2054A. This is a thermal printer. It's going to run you about $200. I've got the link and the exact price. I will put out a video reviewing this. I'll have it hooked up. I'll show you guys how to use it. And the thermal printer is your best friend. I use them. I do use another printer. I know a lot of people give me a hard time. I use both, but there are certain things you can't use a thermal printer for that I do. You guys probably don't. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Anyways, it'll save you a bunch of money, and I'll get you guys a link out to that this weekend. So stay tuned. Yeah, so do I still run 50% off? No, I run 10 to 20% off sales. It just depends on what the items are. I don't run 50 anymore. I used to bump my prices, but it really didn't do as big of a deal. Sometimes it did, but not always. Not always like I wanted it to do. So I'm just fine. And Dominic pointed out that young picture. Since I showed it on my channel, I'll show it, or on his channel, I'll show it on my channel for you guys. Photos of you. My mom put this on Facebook a long time ago. Dominic asked me what I was like as a kid. It's a pretty good question. If you give me just a second. I can't really tell you what I was like as a kid. I run sales around the clock. Yes, you can use the thermal printer on Mac or Windows. That's me at like, what am I, like 5 there? I don't know. Somebody tell me. What do you think? What am I, 5, 6? I don't know. Maybe my mom's watching, or will watch later. She'll know how old I was. 5, 6 years old. Could have been more than 5. Probably not. Anyways, that's me. Dominic wanted to know, what was I like as a kid? Do I look a lot different? Anyways, there I am. That's a young me before it all became. Hit the like button. Appreciate that, guys. And do you think it's better than the other popular one? You're talking about Dymo? I think it's really good. I think it's compatible with Mac and Windows. I think it's fast. I think it's durable. It's cheaper, slightly cheaper. I love Dymo. I've linked Dymo. I own a Dymo. I have one in the other room. But this one's probably going to become my new favorite thermal printer. I'm going to give it a little time to keep testing. But it's awesome. And for the price, you can't beat it. So I'll get that. When am I coming back to Dallas? The Green Room Meetup, guys. Green Room Meetup. Got to get back for the Green Room Meetup, right? Here's the... Oh, I've got the link to the product. Here you go. If you guys want to buy it. Give me just a second to... I'm going to grab you guys. This is the thermal printer that you guys will have to use. The link that you'll have to use for the thermal. I've got the link. It's $180 right now, but it might go up in price. So make sure you grab one now. Amazon, on Amazon. It's directly available on Amazon. The company that I'm working with put the link on Amazon. So let me just provide this to you guys. Everyone wanted the thermal printer. Quite a few of you. So I'm going to put it in the chat right now so you can, I just got to get the link to it. Give me a second. It's logging into my Amazon. All right, there it is. ArcScan link here. Grab the short one for you guys. Copy and come over here. Over here. Okay, Kevin Fisher, thank you for the super chat. $2.99. Appreciate that. There's the link for the ArcScan thermal printer. It's under $200. I think it's like 180. What, 180 right now? The price kind of fluctuates a little bit, but they have them out for 180, so you have to hurry up and get it right now, or in the next few days before they run out of the shipment. Bonafide in the chat. Is he? Is Bonafide in the chat? If he is, I didn't see him. I guess for the Green Room meetup, I'll have to get out there. Will that printer do FedEx Smart Post? They are big labels. Good question. I'd have to check and see if you can adjust it. I don't know. That's a great question. I'll check on it for you. I do not mention our page or social media. It's not going to let you link it, and I do shout out people from time to time. Rollo's a good thermal printer as well. There's quite a few thermal printers. This one for the price, you know, obviously it's an affiliate. I do get a couple bucks if they sell. I get like $3 or $4. I don't know how much, a couple dollars, but maybe 5, 6. I'm not sure, but it's just, you know, for the price and the quality and the durability, you can't really beat it. So. Shoe Loop USA, shoot me a private message or email me. If you're ever in the area, no, it's not Windows only. It is Windows and Mac. Windows and Mac, 100% Windows and Mac. It will work for both. I promise you. I'll have to tell them to edit that. 100%. It does say that. I asked them and I confirmed 100% Windows and Mac. So he confirmed it. I'm going to get him to change the title. In fact, I'm going to email him like while we're on live show and tell him. Okay, so I just sent him the email. So hopefully you guys will see that change. So yeah, I always heard the zebras are a pain to set up. That's why I always shouted out the thermal dymos and the thermal Rollos. Yeah, if you're ever in my area, email me and we'll get together. Best audio intro? Best audio intro? What do you mean? I paid somebody on Fiverr for my intro. And it is compatible with all sizes of labels. Yes, Michael, great thing to point out. I heard it was 105%. Manny, to make $1,000 in profit, you probably need to sell $2,000, which is what, like $65 a day. So you're probably talking about selling 2 or 3 items a day at least, maybe 4 items. You're talking about needing a couple hundred items. You're going to need to sell. You're going to need to list like 10 items a day. You're going to need to put in a couple hours a day to do that. The labels should be on there as a suggested item. If not, I'll find a link for those as well. You can use any labels you want, though. Thanks, Star. Appreciate you stopping in even for a minute. Can I explain use tax? Riki, use tax is something more aimed at buyers and sellers. I can send you a link rather than, me try to explain it, but it's, like use tax is the customer, the end user, like the person that's actually, buying an item, using it from a place outside of their state. So if somebody comes to me from Ohio and buys my item and they're the end user, they're responsible for where it's used, where it's stored, where it's consumed, and where no tax was collected on my end. So that's kind of use tax simplified, I guess. I don't know. Leaving Florida in 2 weeks, Darren. I know. Diane, you got to send me a message so I can get to where you are. Send me a private message on Facebook tonight so I can set this up. So Okay, so I've been on 48 minutes. It's time for me to go. It's pumpkin time for me, but I got a lot of work to do. I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you hit the like button. We only need one more for 100, so please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I know some of you don't like me asking, but I got to remind you guys, being subscribed to the channel is so important to us because we know that everyone subscribed will get a chance to see the videos, and hopefully we can help you. Last thing I'll tell you guys, if you want to get more in-depth in anything you want to discuss, if you want to get your taxes straight, if you want to get your business in line on the up and up, you want to sell more, you want to make more money, use the link below, the first one. It is the Rockstar Flipper Entrepreneur Group, and we would love to have you. We're going to be helping you. You get me, you get Sydney, you get all the amazing members. Brenda Heilman, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. And everyone else who super chatted tonight, thank you. And all my regular viewers, Star and Trey and Dominic and everybody who's in the chat tonight, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy. We're almost to Friday TGIF, so I'll see you guys next time. And if you have any questions about the Rockstar Group, as always, my email is open, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. You guys are the best. I'll see you next time. Good night.